Good morning. Welcome to our October Shotsuki monthly memorial and adult Dharma service. I'd like to begin the service with reading of the names of those who've passed away in the month of October. Maya Aikawa, Charles Ajari, Kane Aochi, Shigeru Asakura, Kane Baba, Takashi Baba, Gloria Bukal, Ichi Chiyoda, Hachiro Endo, Heitaro Fuji, Kikuno Fuji, Fred Fuji, Rikizo Fujinami, Marie Miyako Fujino, William Furuta, Miao Harada, Sunao Harada, Katsuji Harano, Seki Hayashi, Kiichi Hiramoto, Jitsuro Hiramoto, Loralee Tucker Hiramoto, Saki Hirao, Fumio Honda, Horizo Horimoto, Kyoko Idehara, Jukichi Igaki, Tomenosuke Inouchi, Fusayo Inoue, Shokichi Isono, Seitaro Iwamoto, Jitsugo Iwata, Yuki Kamano, Tatsumi Kanada, Seiso Kanesaki, Alice Kaneshige, Shonosuke Kato, Yoshie Kawabata, Hatsu Kawabe, Tokichi Kawamoto, Shuichi Kawaoka, Ichiro Kayatani, John Kido, Meiji Kido, Teiko Kido, Takashi Kimoto, Setsuko Kimura, Shige Kisanuki, Kokichi Kiya, Tameji Kobori, Kathleen Kober, Jane Kosakura, Yoshie Kume, Tama Kuritsubo, Harry Kuratori, Tamae Kuratori, Shoroku Kuwahara, George Matsutani, Grace Masui, Sachi Masuyama, George Matsui, Gary Matsumoto, Misty Minamihara, Tomiko Minamoto, Yuki Minamoto, Tomijiro Miyagawa, Barbara Setsuko Mizota Detata, Rimban Shoki Mori, Kazue Mori, Roy Mori, Jean Tatsuo Moriki, Sumiko Murashima, Taki Nagafuji, Shigeji Naito, Sachie Nakamura, Kohachi Nakao, Satsuki Nakao, Reverend Juko Nakashima, Tsuneno Nakatani, Ben Nakaya, Torataro Nakayama, Yaichi Nakazono, Alan Neishi, Motomu Neishi, Tsunekichi Niizawa, Toshiko Ninomiya, Kari Nita, Sam Hoyo Noma, Seizo Nomura, Tamayo Norimoto, Mieko Okamoto, Sei Okawa, Fujie Oniki, Etsuko Onizuka, Edward Otake, Ted Hitoshige Sakaki, Kumashichi Sakamoto, Kikue Sameshima, Hisa Sasaki, Tomekichi Satake, Hidemi Seiji, Shigeru Seta, Tomie Seta, Yasumatsu Shigaya, Ruth Shimada, Harvey Shinomoto, Fumiko Evelyn Soga, George Takahashi, Tame Takahashi, Mineko Takata, Shinobu Tani, Masayuki Terada, Lauren Teramura, Eiya Ugai, Misao Watanabe, Wataru Watanabe, Ruth Miyoko Wong, Dai Yamabe, Baby Yamamoto, John Yamamoto, Miyuki Lois Yamamoto, Tatsuyo Yamamoto, Chizuko Yamanaka, Michi Yamane, Kuhachiro Yamaoka, Tsuya Yamashita, Choshiro Yokoyama, Yoshino Yokoyama, Ino Yoshida, Misa Yoshida, Yozo Yoshida, Grace Yoshioka, Sho Saburo Yoshioka. Next we will have Sutra chanting, and today let's chant Sanbutsuge, which is in the small purple book on page 22. Namanda, 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 namanda. 無極如善妙無用と者日月間に主公遠慮海質音平有脈樹木如来予言調整無輪小学大音コル実法開門精進三昧知恵意徳無量主生慶人体善念小仏法界愚人人の愚語外体無明欲ぬ世尊読む臨の死死人徳無量空君古代知恵人妙光明意相神道大仙願が差仏在所法可動生じ未不下脱不正上位解任生じ如是三昧知恵以上五世特仏不行志願一切空空一切大安決し有仏約千億万無量大小修行五者供養一切知等諸仏不如愚道見性不客頻如五者諸仏世界不不可見無種節道光明師匠変師諸国如是精進異人難女両が差仏国土第一五種奇妙道場超絶国如内音二無闘争ガト愛民道 datsu isai jippo naisho shinetsu shoujo ito ga koku kenaku anno kobutsu shinmyo zega shinsho hotsugan no hi riki shoyoku jippo sesom chiemuge Joryo Shisom Chiga Shingyo Kenyo Shinshi Shoku Dokuchu Gagyo Shojin Ninju Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida Butsu, Namo Amida. Okay, thank you very much. Welcome to our October Shotsuki monthly memorial and adult Dharma service. At the earlier service, I talked about awareness, right? And one of the questions that I feel is important to ask is awareness of what, right? That it's and same with mindfulness, right? Mindfulness is kind of a buzzword now, but I think you should ask, mindful of what? And actually, Buddhism gives us many different things to be mindful of. And gives a lot of different possibilities. So one possibility that I don't think, it kind of came up in the first service, but I was thinking, how about mindfulness or awareness of causes and conditions? Causes and conditions. So causes and conditions is a really important expression in Buddhism. It's kind of related to karma, right? It's related to this insight in Indian culture, and that the Buddha adopted as well, that everything is cause and effect, right? That everything that we can find is the result of causes and conditions, right? And every action has results, right? So that we find ourselves in a web of cause and effect. And so one way we can do this, and one way that it kind of works in Buddhism, and I talked about food in the first service, and I thought, why not talk about it again for the second service, but in a different way? Because we might go out to lunch after this. And so I've been thinking, where would I want to go eat? And so one of my favorite local restaurants is called Hescher's. Have you ever heard of it? Hescher's Pizza. It's on Broadway. It's kind of across the street, not right across the street. Oh yeah, it's across the street from Buttercup, Jack London Square, right? So it's kind of near Nations and Solely Vegan, which is another great place. But Hescher's Pizza is pretty recent. Also in the same room, it's a cider bar, and they have like 25 or 50 ciders on tap. Don't quote me on the number, but hard cider, right? And so the cider takes up more of the place, but I think Hescher's is the main thing. So I was thinking about Hescher's, and then I thought, so, you're thinking about causes and conditions. And so here comes the pizza to my plate, to my table, right? And so here's the pizza, and yet someone had to make it. So the guy who runs Hescher's is a metalhead. That's kind of what the expression is, Hescher, right? And so he really likes heavy metal, but he also makes great pizza. And I've ordered it from him. I've gone in there, and he takes my order, and he makes it. I think he's getting more help, so sometimes there's other people making it or other people taking the order. But definitely, I can look back there and see that guy, right, and think, oh, that guy made my pizza. But then you can also think, well, but what about the ingredients? So it made me realize, I don't think I've ever really tried to make a pizza myself. I've seen other people try and make it. I've seen people on TV make it. I watch Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives a lot with Guy Fieri, right? And so I said in the first service I wasn't going to sell anything, but I've already made 2 product and placements, right? So maybe they can send a little something. Not to me, to the church. But I watch that show a lot, and so maybe I should kind of have an idea of the ingredients, right? I guess what? There's the dough, because you need the crust, right? The pie itself. And then they put in tomato sauce, cheese, right? Other ingredients, vegetables, meat, right? And then put that in the oven, and you get your pizza. But even the dough, break it down to more ingredients, right? And so what's in dough? Whatever's in dough. The ingredients for dough, right? Gather all those together. I think there's water, flour, right? Maybe cornmeal, right? Sometimes they put the cornmeal on the bottom, right? So we've broken the dough down to some of its constituent elements, right? And then, what do you like on pizza? I like green pepper on pizza. And so green pepper, this is kind of weird maybe, but green pepper had to be raised, right? Someone had to plant. I've never raised a green pepper either, but I just buy it at the supermarket, right? So I'm showing my ignorance, but it's a plant, right? And so it has to grow, so that grows in the soil. Right? That needs water, needs sunlight, right, to be able to grow. And you can do that for each of the ingredients. Break it down. And the ingredients had to get to the restaurant, right? So in addition to those ingredients, it's the truck driver or the delivery person, right, bringing the stuff there. It's actually that area of Jack London Square is really interesting because there's a lot of produce distribution there. Right? And I know actually some of the PCO families, right, were really right in there, right, working at the produce area there. If you go that area of Jack London Square, it's not right on Broadway. It's a couple streets in this direction. If you go like after, 9, 10 o'clock until early in the morning, that place is hopping because they're delivering all this stuff, these trucks and forklifts and everything, right? So all that activity, all those people were involved in my pizza. And then the farmers, right? They're not right here because that's produce distribution. That's what often the distribution chain is the invisible part, right? You know about where the original part and you know where you got it, but in between, all that stuff, right? All those people from the distribution to the original source are in my pizza. They're part of the fact that my pizza is there. So a couple weeks ago, and this morning, we talked about itadakimasu, right? This Japanese expression that we say before we eat. And I said this story a couple weeks ago at Dharma Chat, but I'm going to share it again because I think it's a good one. My chanting teacher, Reverend Haruyoshi Kusada, was from Japan. He was a minister. He was an orphan. He was there at Hiroshima when they dropped the bomb. So he's Hibakusha. He was just this really interesting, important figure in BCA. He also served at Berkeley Buddhist Church and Berkeley Buddhist Temple and was involved in Institute of Buddhist Studies. He had a chanting class, and at the end of the semester, he took us out to lunch. And one of the students had studied Japanese, but wasn't Japanese, had maybe been to Japan once or something. And I think they asked, "Sensei, what does itadakimasu mean?" So Sensei said, "It's gratitude to the whole universe." And then the student said, "No, it's not. I asked my teacher, and they said, no, it's just what Japanese people say before they eat." And Sensei says, "No, it's gratitude to the whole universe." He said, no, my teacher said, it's just something they say." No, like, he wasn't mad, but he was mystified. Right? He's like, no, it's gratitude, the entire universe. And so you think, well, come on, isn't that pushing it a little bit? But I hope from my Hesher's story that we see it's not just the guy making it or the person making it. It's all the ingredients and all the effort that it took to bring those ingredients so that they can be assembled and prepared. Right? But then maybe the key part there is the earth is in it, the rain, the water that's required is in it, and the sun. So we have gone beyond the bounds of the planet. Right? Maybe you could say gratitude to the planet, but we're beyond that actually, right? This meal, this pizza that maybe I'm going to consume later, so I'm in kind of time travel mode here too, right? That this pizza, right, has the earth and the sun in it, right? Those are part of the pizza. And our sun is not just sitting there all by itself, right? Our sun, Earth is what, 4 or 5 billion years old? Right? And our solar system being created before that, billions and billions of years, right? And that it didn't just pop out of nowhere, it came from somewhere else, and on and on and on, right? Of this star stuff just kind of hurtling through the universe. Now, whether it started with a big bang and that was the very beginning, right? Some people wonder, what's the first cause? That's one of the interesting things about Buddhism. Buddhism is like, don't care. It doesn't matter. And according to Indian philosophy, even if there was a Big Bang, maybe that was the collapse of a previous universe. Right? And before that, another one. The Indian cyclical view of the universe is beyond just the creation of ours. It acknowledges that this happens again and again and again in my pizza. Right? That my pizza is connected to the universe. Right? And I really think that Kusada Sensei's notion of gratitude to the universe, right? Expressing this gratitude to the whole universe is way beyond what, if you normally ask, what is itadakimasu about? Where did my food come from? We don't normally think that. But seeing this itadakimasu as, wow, gratitude to the entire universe, maybe makes us think, right? Takes it beyond just I'm eating now. Maybe I'll have leftovers later. That's my normal engagement with pizza, right? I want to eat pizza. I'm eating pizza. Maybe I have leftover pizza. And then when can I have pizza again? That's my normal thought process, right? But if I can insert in there, whoa, precious pizza, precious food, right? Thank you, Mr. Hesher guy. I don't know your name, but I know you online, I follow you online, and I see you, and wow, thank you for making this restaurant even that I can go and get pizza sometimes, right? Thank you for this pizza now. But then taking it beyond that. And so another way to talk, so causes and conditions. Every single thing I've talked about in there is a cause or a condition for that pizza. The cause might be that guy, more immediate causes, but then conditions is this like next tier, right? And so in that next tier, we can bring all kinds of stuff in, all those people I mentioned, right? I don't know that the truck driver is a cause of my pizza, but it's a condition, right? It's part of the picture. It's part of that chain. And so looking at this, reflecting on it for sometimes, right? Especially maybe before I eat, right? So that I don't take the food for granted, so that I don't just mindlessly consume it, which I probably will, to be honest. But if I do that today, that's pretty bad, because I've been talking about it all morning, right? And if I just go in and gobble it down and don't take time to reflect on the flavors, right? The texture, even if it's not pizza. I'm just like trying to brainwash the people we're going to eat with. Pizza. But to reflect on it, right? And not to just consume it aimlessly and mindlessly. So causes and conditions, this Shotsuki service also, right? That we can also reflect on the reason we're here, if you're here for Shotsuki, and I know many of you are, right? Shotsuki is this monthly memorial, and so all those names I read out at the beginning, right, passed away this month. Some of them, I know I saw one was a first year, so they passed away a year ago this month. Others, I saw a 7th year on there. I forget other years. We don't mark all the years, only the special ones, but it could be 20 years ago, 50 years ago. Okay? I know, and I know it's kind of interesting for me because some of the names, I knew that person. Some of the names, I think I know their kids. Right? Some of the names, I only know their name from reading it at Shotsuki. I've never met that person, and I don't think if I've met their relatives, I don't recognize it, right? But all these names, that's what that red book is the October Shotsuki book, right? With acknowledging all these people, and that they are causes and conditions, part of the causes and conditions for this moment. Right, for this service, and so if you're here in memory of someone, to bring them to mind, right, to think about them, maybe throughout the day, maybe if you go out to lunch after, you can, say their name, right? We can say itadakimasu in honor of them, right? To actually bring them out explicitly. Sometimes people want to take names off of the Shotsuki list. I don't know if you've ever heard of that. Sometimes we get a call, can you take this person off? And I just don't like doing that. I really like reading the names. And especially, maybe there are no family left. Right? I don't see it so much here in Oakland, but when I was at Lodi, at a couple of the cemeteries, there were the unmarked graves. Oh, actually Concord, The Concord area, Pacheco Cemetery, they're these unknown, right? But we go and honor them. Even if we don't know who it is, by honoring them, I feel like, wow, we're still keeping this connection, right? And so even if someone has no family left, but reading this name, their name getting called out, even just once a year, right? That keeping them in mind as part of the history of this temple. That's why I'm here, right? I'm here doing this service because of these people, right? That without them, there wouldn't be a temple. Right? Without them, we wouldn't be here today. Thinking, reflecting on the Dharma, listening to the Dharma, and again, the Dharma talk isn't just for today. I hope we can go out and when we go back to our regular lives, maybe having it be about food is good because that's something we all do, right? We all eat, right? And so next time you eat, maybe to think, even if you don't have to say itadakimasu. It's a Japanese word. It doesn't mean anything maybe to you, but you can say Namo Amida Butsu. That's another expression of gratitude to this something bigger than us, bigger than me, and kind of finding that in my life. What I like about it, I grew up reading a lot of science fiction, right? And there's ways to get really kind of depressed about reality. Right? And you don't even have to read science fiction to get depressed about reality, right? But you can get a really kind of, you can get really sad about what we see in the world, right? And I think that these are those are big questions that human beings are always asking. And I feel like one answer comes from Buddhism, that the true nature of reality isn't just neutral. It's not just empty and static, right? That it's wisdom, which is empty, but it's also compassion. Right? That the true nature of reality, which Buddha maybe represents or Buddha manifests, is wisdom and compassion. So that this compassion and wisdom embraces us all. And it's part of reality. It's not over there. It's not only here in the Naijin. It's not nirvana out there. It's actually everywhere. It's just coursing throughout everything. We're not necessarily aware of it, but that's what Buddhism is for, right? That's why Buddha manifested in our world, was to teach us about this. And hopefully we can tap into that maybe. Causes and conditions, cause and effect. At another level, there's nothing. Nothing is caused. Nothing comes into being. Nothing. Everything depends on everything else. And it's actually empty. Right? That's part of Buddha's wisdom. And from there, you can get to, it's actually all one. There's actually no distinction between you and me. There's no distinction between being here and being like on Jupiter or something. Right? So maybe that's another way that gratitude to the universe, right? Not just the things that we can point to. Then I'm going to close on this. That's where I was going. Causes and conditions. Innumerable causes and conditions. We could try and count them out, and I tried, right? But I can't possibly name every single cause and condition. And so another way to call that is inconceivable causes and conditions. It's beyond my conception. I can't conceive of this, and yet can be aware of it. And so before we eat, we can say itadakimasu, or with awareness and appreciation, I humbly receive this meal. With Namo Amida Butsu, I can express taking refuge in this Buddha of wisdom and compassion, Buddha of light and life, Amida Buddha. Right? When we say Namo Amida Butsu, we're taking refuge in that. We're also expressing our gratitude for that embrace, because Amida Buddha embraces us, never to forsake us, and embraces us as we are. So I want to thank you very much for joining us for our October Shotsuki Monthly Memorial and Adult Dharma Service. Why don't we conclude the Dharma talk with Gasho, reflecting on the innumerable, inconceivable causes and conditions. Let us express our gratitude by reciting Buddha's name, the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. And another way we can express our gratitude is singing the song Ondokusan II. And in the small purple book, it's on page 76. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo. Should we conclude our October Shotsuki and Adult Dharma Service? Thank you everyone for attending. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo.